A look at obituaries brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Over at Curtis & Son Funeral Home, they've got two locations, Highway 280 in Childersburg and the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga. For all your burial and cremation needs, it's Curtis & Son Funeral Home. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home provider is Curtis & Son Funeral Home. 256-245-4361. That's 256-245-4361. You're talking about stability in this community. Well over 40 years at Curtis & Son Funeral Home. The North Chapel in Sylacauga and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg, 256-245-4361. It's Curtis & Son Funeral Home. Many of these guys and ladies have been a part of this company for a long, long time. Miss Doris Thrash in Pre-Need, for instance. Jimmy Holmes, a funeral director. J.D. McDaniel, Shaddix Murphy, and the list goes on. That's Curtis & Son Funeral Home. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations, 256-245-4361. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Funeral service for Bessie Jeanette Turner, age 83 of Sylacauga, is this morning at 11 a.m. from Mount Moriah Baptist Church in Coosa County, with Dr. Danny Corson officiating. Burial in the Mount Moriah Cemetery. Visitation from 10 until 11 at the church this morning. Online condolences at curtissonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Funeral service this morning, Mr. Billy Oden, age 69, died October the 12th. Funeral arrangements to be announced later by Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary in Talladega. Mr. William Edward Hamilton, age 69 of Sylacauga, died October the 11th. Graveside service this afternoon at 3 p.m. from Old Childersburg Cemetery. Visitation was held last night at the North Chapel. Now, Mr. Hamilton was a longtime resident of a nursing home here in Sylacauga. Many of you knew Mr. William and what a joy he brought to so many people's lives. And that funeral service, graveside service, will be today at 3 o'clock from Old Childersburg Cemetery. Online condolences at curtissonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, Sylacauga, directing. Celebration of Life, a service for Mary Ann Sanderson Creason, age 73, will be Saturday at 11 a.m. from Spring Street Rec Center Banquet Room. That's 502 South Spring Street in Talladega. Mrs. Creason died September the 26th, and you're invited to participate in that celebration of life for Mary Ann Sanderson Creason, age 73. That'll be at the Spring Street Rec Center Banquet Room at 502 South Spring Street in Talladega this Saturday beginning at 11 a.m. Esther Grizzle, age 85, died Wednesday at Brookdale Nursing Home, Radley Smith Funeral Home, announcing. Funeral service for Jeremy Lee Ward, age 36 of Sylacauga, will be Friday at 2 o'clock from Curtis & Son North, with the Reverend Mitch Cannell and the Reverend Mike Frost officiating. Visitation will be tonight from 5 until 8 p.m. Burial in the Harpersville Cemetery. Mr. Ward died October the 10th at St. Vincent's East Hospital. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Juanetta M. Jackson, age 64, is today at Harper Spring Missionary Baptist Church in Sylacauga at 1 p.m. Burial in the Harper Spring Church Cemetery. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Mrs. Jackson died October 5th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Visitation for Rosie D. Dillion, age 71 of Sylacauga, will be tonight from 5 to 7 o'clock at Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel. Memorial message may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga, in charge of the arrangements. This obituary report brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.